So today's class is all about using the wall to help you in your yoga, and it may make the poses more attainable because it gives you a little extra support, but also the wall will demand accuracy of alignment, and so we'll point out to you areas which you may need to focus on to improve the alignment in the pose. So we're going to start today Adho Mukha Virasana. I've put 2 bricks against the wall. So toes together, heels apart, sit between the buttocks. Remember, you can always put a support, a block here if you can't sit that low. Take the knees apart beyond the centre of the shins, and you may need to adjust your distance. I've got a feeling I'm too far away. So keep the weight bearing down through the tops of the thighs onto the feet, lengthen the front body and come forwards. Place the hands on the bricks. We're just raising the hands, raising the shoulders. Lengthen the whole body, keeping the tailbone in, and come forwards. Now you may find that a block is quite useful here for you to put your head on, your forehead. So lengthen the body forwards. You may need more than one block. You want to keep the length in the front body so that the spine descends between the shoulder blades. Press the whole palm and all the fingers firmly down and lift the elbows. Raise the inner arms to the ceiling. But keep that weight down through the upper legs. Just lift the pubic bone slightly, the top edge up into the abdomen to help you to tuck the tailbone in, and keep that action moving back through the legs, from the knees to the inner groins. Soften the face, rest the forehead skin. If you're using a block, let the forehead skin move from your hairline to your eyebrows, coming forwards. But feel that the skull bone beneath the skin is just moving towards your fingers. And certainly soften your throat and attune yourself to your breath. Feel that widthways movement as you inhale from the spine to the side ribs. And then coming up, raise the head, bring the hands back. And we'll use the wall for dog pose. So now I'm going to take the 2 bricks and put them on the skirting board. And I'm going to put my hands here, all the fingers on the bricks, and take the knees back slightly and come up. Keep the knees bent to start with. Press the hands into the bricks. This is helping you to open your shoulders. So open the armpits, lift the elbows, and move your side ribs away from your armpits. Raise them. Then think of taking the pubic bone away from the side ribs, drawing the top edge slightly into the abdomen to keep the tailbone tucked in and to keep the waist lifted. And then slowly straighten the legs, lift the thighs, spread out the back thighs as you stretch back through the feet. Try to keep that raise in the hips and the length through the body. Keep lifting the inner upper arms and keep the shoulders away from your ears. Keep pressing the hands and fingers down. Feel what area is working the most. Is it your arms? Is it your legs? And try to balance this. All right, look forwards, come up. So now with our backs to the wall, bring your feet a little bit forwards and bend the knees and take the sacrum down the wall. So have the maximum amount of your sacrum at the base of the spine pressing against the wall. Now, you can come down to a sort of sitting position and you can push on your feet and push back, and that can help the sacrum to go down. Now we want the ribs on the wall. So I can feel my lower ribs on the wall, the front lower ribs are in. However, the collarbones need to spread and the shoulder blades need to go down the wall as well. And so sometimes if there's a curvature in the upper spine, there's a little bit of a conflict between getting the shoulder blades on the wall and the lower ribs. Use the pressing back through your feet to try to achieve this. Then bring your arms forwards, link the fingers, let's turn the palms, place them on the top of the head. Move the elbows back. Try to achieve this, keeping the lower ribs in contact and the shoulder blades and the sacrum. Straighten up through the arms. You may or may not get the arms to the wall, but try to keep your upper back on the wall, your middle back, your lower back. Bring the arms down. Remember which little finger's on the bottom. Straighten the legs, come back. Now, depending on the size of the buttocks, you may easily get the heels against the skirting boards or you may not. You don't want to feel like you're going to fall forwards. Get them as close as you can. Try to lift up through the thighs and then slightly bend the knees, take that sacrum down and then try to keep that angle on the sacrum as you straighten the legs. We want to keep the whole pelvis level. We don't want it to tip forwards. Now the ribs still stretch across the collarbones, shoulder blades down, lower ribs down, neck long. Keep the thighs working, press the feet, grip the legs in. That helps to allow the spine to lift. And then link the fingers the opposite way, the other little finger on the bottom. Turn the palms. Take the hands onto the top of the head. Take the elbows back, but keep those lower ribs in. Sacrum down. Legs pressing back. Release your throat and stretch the arms. Little fingers are coming down, shoulder blades are still down, elbows grip in, thumbs lift towards the ceiling. Get that contact between the feet on the floor, heels firm, balls of the feet firm, arches lifting, legs gripping in, sacrum down, lower ribs in, shoulder blades down, palms pressing up. And then release. Vriksasana, tree pose. So here we have the balance of the wall. However, if keeping the leg up is hard for you, then you can always use a belt to do this. So feet to the wall. We're going to bend the right leg first. So turn the right leg out. Now you can bring the foot here, you can bring the foot here, you can bring the foot right up to here. And remember that if your foot slips, then you can always put the belt around the ankle, hold here, and actually it's probably better, I've got a little loop here to loop the foot here. You could loop the foot, bring here, or loop the ankle, come here, and then when we raise the arms, you can do this, and you can still achieve the pose. So, feet together, still that pressure down through the feet, grip in of the legs, that movement down of the sacrum, ribs in. Okay, bend the right leg, turn it out, bring it up, try not to lean down to do this, and as you bring the right leg up, try to squeeze the left hip in. So you've got the left thigh, inner thigh, hitting the foot and the foot hitting the thigh. Keep drawing up through the standing thigh. So, ground foot presses down, thigh lifts up, sacrum down, ribs in, shoulder blades on the wall. See, can you take the arms forwards? Can you take the arms up? So have that contact between the ground foot pressing down, the body lifting up, shoulders down, fingers stretching up. Lengthen the back of your neck and keep your face soft. Other side, feet together. Draw up through the legs, sacrum down, squeeze the legs in. Keep that squeeze in of the right leg as you release the left leg, turn it out. See, can you reach it without leaning forwards? Press it into the inner thigh. Now keep that leg gripping in. Keep that tucking under of the buttocks, particularly the left buttock now. And try to even press equally on the left foot. Get the little toe side of the left foot making contact with your leg. It will help this inner thigh to open out. And then arms forwards if you can. Take them up. Keep the ribs in. Elbows straight, shoulders down. Soften the face. Press on the floor foot. And draw up through the body. Soft eyes. Breathe. And then release. Garudasana. Bring your feet a little bit forwards. Using the wall helps the balance, but also stops that tendency to swing the top leg hip forwards. So bend the knees, release the right leg, wrap it over the left leg. You've got to keep that left leg bent. Close contact between the knees. You may just get your ground foot here, or you may be able to tuck it round. But keep those hips evenly placed on the wall. Squeeze the legs together, raise the pubic bone. Keep the ribs in contact, take the arms out, right arm under the left. You've got the backs of the hands together, then bring the right hand towards you and take it palm, fingers, right fingers to left palm here. Raise the elbows, lower the shoulders. Are you still on the wall with your ribs, your sacrum, your shoulder blades? Press the fingers into the palm, turn the wrists. Left eye looks left of the wrists, right eye looks right. and then release. Give yourself a moment to recover, and then bend the knees. Take the left foot, wrap it over, and if you can tuck the foot, but then hips back on the wall, sacrum down, ribs down, collarbones spreading. Stretch the arms, left arm under. Remember, bring the left hand towards you and then fingers on the palm. You may not quite get there, but do your best. So now remember, tuck the tailbone in. Take it towards your knees. Press the forearms into each other. Press the left elbow up into the right elbow. Lower your shoulders. Keep the shoulder blades on the wall. Soften your face. And look straight ahead. Be in the pose. And then release. Right, now for some forward-facing standing poses. So Trikonasana. You may like to use a brick for your hand, which I will place there for now. So, moving this mat here, taking up a wide stride, and initially starting with your heels on the wall, you're going to lift your left toes and draw them in. Try to keep the heel down while you do that. Now the right foot, the toes turn out, but the right heel comes forwards to turn the whole right leg to face the direction we're moving in. Make sure your knee has turned as well as your foot. And if it doesn't quite manage, you can overturn your foot to help that leg to turn out more. All right, if you're using a brick, place it behind the shin. Stretch the arms. Now here, same as with the other poses, sacrum down. Feet spreading, pressing down, legs lifting, lower ribs against the wall, shoulder blades against the wall. We're going to try to keep all of that. So, keeping the body on the wall. Stretch over to the right. You can take this hand down if you like, but you want to keep this side of the body long. So if you only come to here and you hold your leg, then it's fine. So stretch, stretch, stretch. Keeping the feet firm, lifting the legs, keeping the sacrum going down. That waist is back. Then drop the arm from the shoulder, hand on the brick. Now, shoulder blades still moving down the back. Stretch from this right hip out to the shoulder. Body is long. Sacrum is down. Now, rotate. Bring the lower ribs forwards. Take the upper ribs back. But keep the shoulder blades on the wall. Then you can take the top arm up. Doesn't have to be against the wall, can just be directly above the shoulder. And if it's comfortable, turn your head. Otherwise, you can look straight forwards. Now, don't lean on that block. You can press on the block, but use that as a force to lift up through the bottom arm and to lift up through the top arm, keeping the shoulder blades moving towards your hips. In all yoga poses, you can have a slight smile and then come up. Turn the feet. Heels against the wall, Turn the left toes in, turn the right toes in, turn the left toes out, bring the left heel forwards. Place the brick. You can always put another brick underneath if it's not quite high enough, or just hold your leg. Firm feet, draw up through the thighs, tailbone in. Keep the body on the wall, stretch. Take your time. You can lower this hand. Keep the waist back. Take this hand down. The waist is back to the wall. I keep saying this because my front ribs are dying to poke forwards. And then you can take this top arm up, lengthen your neck as well. Turn your body, rotate from the abdomen, but keep the pubic bone, the top edge of the pubic bone, drawing into the abdomen. Rotate the abdomen up towards the ceiling. Rotate the waist, rotate the chest. Keep the shoulder blades on the wall. Lift up from the bottom arm. Turn the ears to look up. Lengthen the back neck. Soften the face. Smile. Breathe into the ribs. Feel that sideways extension. We have to become the pose, not just grip onto it. And then come up. Turn the feet and come back together for a moment. Just pausing to feel the result of that pose. Now, we won't need the brick initially. Virabhadrasana 2. So, step out. Same again, take the sacrum down, spread the collarbones, turn the left toes in and the right foot all the way out. So the right foot is a little bit forwards. You want the heel in line with the arch of the back foot. But the pelvis is still looking forwards and the shoulder blades are still on the wall. Stretch the arms. Now we're going to bend the front knee. Keep this back hip gripping in and keep lifting the right side body. Don't lean it. As you come down, and you can come down to a right angle, keep both hips on the wall, both buttocks, the sacrum, keep it evenly placed on the wall, drawing down. You might find now, press your feet and lift the arches in the feet, in the front leg. That will help you to keep that front knee going back to the wall. In the back leg, it will help keep that outward rotation of the back leg. And look over the front arm. Without turning your body, keep that left shoulder blade pressing into the wall. And then come up. Rest the arms. Bring the feet forwards. Just examine the pelvis. My pelvis easily wants to come forwards. You've got to really lift these bones at the front of the pelvis. Lift the pubic bone up to keep that drawing down at the back. Turn the right toes in, left toes out. Turn the left foot all the way around. You might find one side is different and it might be harder to keep the back hip on the wall, but use the back leg, pressing back to achieve this. Stretch the arms, bend, Make sure you're wide enough. If your knee overshoots your foot, then you need to be wider. Press the feet. Remember, whatever's on the ground is most important. Look over your left hand. Where is your right buttock? Press your right leg back. Lift the arch. Get that right buttock on the wall. Draw the pubic bone up. Lift the front arch to get that left knee to go back to the wall. Keep the right shoulder blade on the wall. Stretch the fingers. Turn your head. And then come up. Turn the feet and come back to neutral. Breathe. Draw up through the spine. See the effects of that pose. And then we're going to take a brick for Parsvakonasana and we're going to place it in front of the right foot. You can place it high up or lower down. So, stepping out, lifting, drawing down, turning the left toes in, right foot all the way around. Okay, level the pelvis, keep that back, that left hip in, stretch the arms, bend the knee. Same as before. And now from here, you can drop this arm for the moment, extend through the body, just like Trikonasana. Bring this hand in front of the knee and take the arm down. Now you need to be able to keep these ribs long. If you're going over, then come up higher. And you need to use the arm as a lever. As you lift that front arch of the foot, take the knee back. You can take the knee back with the arm. Now, what's happened to this back buttock? Lift the arch of the back foot, lift this thigh up and lift this hip up. And so now try to get that back buttock on the wall. Take this arm up so both buttocks are on the wall, front knee back. Turn the hand if you can, take it over and look up underneath the front arm. Where are the feet? Where are the buttocks? How long is the spine? And then come up. Bring the block and place it in front of the left foot. Tailbone down, abdomen lifts, tuck the back toes in, the right foot, turn the left foot all the way around. Remember, it's away from the wall. Stretch the arms. Keep in contact with the wall, with those buttocks, as you bend this leg. Just make sure you get the right distance. Try to keep contact now with the back, long back. Hand in front. Take it onto the block. Keep that bottom shoulder down. Can you keep it on the wall? Can you keep that left buttock on the wall? The tailbone in, lift the pubic bone, lift the back arch. Can you get that right buttock on the wall? You may achieve that as you lift and turn the abdomen, the waist, the ribs. Stretch up through this top arm. Remember, press on the lower brick, but lift up out of the bottom arm. Turn the hand. Take it over. Release your toes if they're crunching up. Lift your arches. Open and turn the front body. Stretch from the back foot to the top fingers. Lengthen the neck. Breathe and be in the pose. And then come up. Come back. Tadasana. If this is the morning, maybe you feel like this is really waking you up. If this is the evening, maybe you feel like the practice is bringing you home to yourself. Ardha Chandrasana. Now you may well want the brick, so place it about a foot ahead of where your right foot's going to be. Oh, don't be too near another wall because you don't want to bang your head on it. Take up your stride for Trikonasana. Turn left toes in, right foot all the way round to the right. Stretch the arms. So strong legs, sacrum down. Keep contact with the wall. I'm just going to hold my leg here. Take the arm up, turn the chest. So think of the back waist. Is it filling out? Is the pubic bone moving slightly into the abdomen, the tailbone in? Are the ribs and shoulders on the wall if possible? Now keep the rotation in the chest as much as possible. Keep the right hip tucking, the right buttock tucking in, the left hip lifting. And you may like to look down here, bend your front knee, bring your back foot in, place your block about a foot ahead here. I'm not going to use the block, I'm just going to put the hand down, but you must be able to keep this balancing leg straight. And then here, draw up through the standing leg. Lift the upper leg, stretch the heel. So here we've still got the right buttock moving back and into the body, the waist moving back, the abdomen rotating, the top hip lifting, extension in the spine, a lift in the lower arm to the upper arm, turning the head, pressing the lifted leg back to the wall, extend from back heel to crown, and then come up. Move the brick. Step out. Move that brick out of the way. So right toes in, left foot all the way round to the left. Hips are still on the wall, remember. Shoulders. Trikonasana, so keep shoulders and hips on the wall. Extend, you can lower this arm. Take the hand down, strong, straight legs. Abdomen rotates, chest rotates. Lengthen the arms. Or you can keep the top hand down all the time or raise it at the end. Keep the chest rotation. Look down, bend the knee. Step in. Extend here. Just if it pose is new to you, just concentrate on balancing on one foot and one hand to begin with. Stretch up through that standing leg. Tuck the left buttock back. Lengthen the body. And then turn. Lift this inner right thigh. Stretch the heel. Lift the hip, but without poking the ribs or the waist forwards. Keep back against the wall. Stretch, heel to crown. Turn the head if you can. Ears eventually both looking up to the ceiling. And smiling as you breathe. Feel that width and opening in the chest, in the abdomen. And then bend the knee. come up. You can go back through Trikonasana, of course. Right, Virabhadrasana 1, which we can't quite use the wall in the same way, but we're going to start with the feet apart here, as we have started for the other poses. Lift the abdomen. Now we're going to tuck the left toes in, but lift the left heel and take it more back, so it's not on the wall now. You may find you want to take it a little further into the room, depending on the width of your hips. So now you turn your right foot all the way around, and I'm taking my right arm back. So what I want to achieve, which is very hard to do perhaps, is to bring this left hip forwards and to take the right hip back, and the right hip is on the wall. And I want to draw the sacrum down, even though I haven't got the wall now, and lift up through the abdomen. My right hand can be low down and on the wall. Now I'm going to bring the left hand across the body here and press into the wall to help me to turn the body. So now I'm trying to keep that and bend the front knee without leaning towards the front leg. So you want to come back down to that right angle again with the support of the wall, and keep lifting up through the abdomen. You may find that your heel raises a little, and if this is the case, then you could put a support underneath it, so you've got something to really press into. So you're keeping the uprightness of the body, the turn in the body. Lower the shoulders, tailbone in. This pubic bone is drawing up. Now, if that's comfortable for you, you may want to raise the left arm. And if it's accessible, you can raise the right arm. And you've got the support of the wall, so you may well be able to look up, keeping the shoulders down. And if you can keep the arms straight, you can join the hands, but keep those front ribs in. Okay, and then coming back. So level hips, drawing the sacrum down. So now turning the right toes in, I'm going to bring my foot a little bit forwards and take the heel back. So foot's about 45 degrees away from being parallel to the wall. And then turn the left foot all the way around. So the left hip is on the wall, straight legs at the moment, left arm back. You can even have your thumbs on the sacrum, bring the right edge of the sacrum forwards, but draw it down and under. So forwards, down and under. Draw up through the chest and lower the shoulders. So you can take the palm to the wall on the left hand, only if that doesn't hurt your shoulder. Take the left hip back more. Keep the legs straight. Take the right arm across here to help you turn. Now, keeping this, bend the knee. So keep upright, upright. Keep that back leg straight. Keep the front ribs in, the sacrum down. And then, of course, if it's accessible, bring the right arm up. You might like to bring the left arm forwards and up. Look up. Bring the palms if you can. If it helps you, you can cross the thumbs. Keep the ribs in, shoulders down, tail in, strong back leg, front buttock, move it towards the front knee. Press on the feet and lift up through the body and smile and breathe. Feel really open around the abdomen and chest. And then coming up and turning the feet. Come back. You may well feel like a break here, so we can take the feet forwards of the wall and have the sacrum moving down for a moment, the buttocks on the wall. Bend the knees for a moment. Keep the length in your front body and come forwards over bent legs. Don't flick the tailbone up to the ceiling though. You can bend the legs a lot, just so you can spread the chest over the thighs. Release the head. You can hold thumbs and fingers around the elbows. Soften the face. Lengthen your neck. Breathe into the side ribs. And then if possible, you can raise the buttocks a little. You might like to move into straighter legs slowly. But if you do, you probably move away from the thighs. So keep the upper arms, the forearms, level with the crown of your head, even behind the crown of your head. And keep drawing the abdomen away from the pubic bone and lengthen the side body. Press on the feet. Expand the back thighs. Soften the face. Lift your shoulders, upper back in. Recover. And then to come up, either bend or keep your legs straight. I'm putting my hands on the ground, looking forwards, coming all the way up. All right, just let's sit now. Let's sit in Baddha Konasana. Have a brick to go between your feet and do sit on a block if your knees raise up quite a lot. And you may like to have another brick or some blocks to put your head on. Now I am looking at the sun, so let's see. So let's sit down. Oh, let's get everything near me. So sit with the sacrum against the wall and do sit on bricks, remember, or blocks, I mean, if your knees come up high. So you want to take the buttocks as close to the wall as you can. And you don't want to have your knees up like this. So you need to lift up if that's the case. Join the soles of the feet for a moment. Now here again, sacrum not totally in contact with the skirting board, but certainly want to have the shoulder blades on the wall, the collarbones spreading, and hands by the hips. Feel that you can lift up through the spine, tucking the tailbone under, just like in those standing poses, drawing the pubic bone up. Trying not to poke the front ribs forwards. Now, just to get a little bit more movement in the pose, let's take one brick here and put it between the feet. You might find it now, or you probably will find it now, a little bit more difficult to get the knees down, but press the heels into the brick and the balls of the feet and tuck the tailbone in and lift up through the spine. Have the neck long. Soften the face. Just release through the hips. Soften the inner thighs just to allow the body to adapt to that extra opening in the pelvis, in the thighs. And if that's comfortable for you, you may like just to lean to the right a little, keeping the tailbone in, but not on the knee, but just a gentle encouragement of that left thigh to go down. Now, the left thigh is rolling back to the wall, so you could have your thumb forwards, your fingers behind, and actually rotate that thigh outwards as you press down. Stretching doesn't come by forcing, because the body will tighten. It comes by softening in the mind as well as in the body, and moving gradually. If there's any fear or speed, then we might well react by tightening the body to protect ourselves. So know at the beginning that we're not actively seeking to hurt ourselves. We're just seeking to make a little bit more space. And then come up. And then the right thigh, lean to the left. So don't go for broke, just go slowly. Now, what's happened to the left one? Can you keep that left one down? Sometimes it needs a little thought to do that. As you lean to the left, rotate that right thigh outwards. Gently press down. What's happened to your waist? So tuck the tailbone in. Is the sacrum moving down the wall? Are your ribs on the wall? Are your shoulder blades down? Is your neck long? Are your heels pressing? Is that left thigh still opening? Are you breathing? Are you smiling? All little things which tell the brain that you're perfectly safe. And then come up, remove the block. Now, when you bring the feet back together, you may find your thighs are much more happy in the pose. And this may be where you want to stay. You may well want to turn the whole foot up to the ceiling. Remember, if you can't reach your feet, you can always put a belt around the middle of the foot to hold on to. That sometimes helps. Turning the feet helps the outer knees to go down. And then return the feet. And then to come forwards. We want to come forwards with a long body. So you may be able to come forwards or to rest your head. If not, just come forwards a little bit. But you want to keep these collarbones open. It's almost as if we're still on the wall. We've still got the ribs moving down, the shoulder blades down. We've still got the pubic bone moving the navel up and away from the pubic bone. So keep the tailbone in and just come a little bit forwards and see what that feels like. If you feel like you've got to round and close your heart space, then don't come any more forwards. Keep that feeling of width in the diaphragm, that ability of the breastbone to move forwards and upwards when you breathe, that heart space can open. So don't move into agony. Just keep somewhere that's pleasant and you can feel the stretch, but it doesn't tighten your face. Place a brick if you can, if it's available. Just place your forehead down on the brick and soften your face and soften your chest. If you can place your elbows on your thighs or your shins, you can press them down. Lengthen the front body. You may find that after a little while you could come a little bit lower. But certainly focus on being here in the pose, breathing, softening, enjoying, as if there's nowhere else to be. So we're not looking at what's to come or what has been. We're feeling our whole being now. This is the only experience, so make it one to relish. All right, and then lift your head, come up. You may well want to straighten out the legs. We've been there quite a while, so you may want to just wiggle the knees or wiggle the feet or whatever it takes to let your knees feel all right again. So, last pose, Setu Bandha, and so you might want to have 2 bricks. Okay, I'll put them there. And 4 blocks, I'll show you from the side. We're going to put 2 blocks into the wall here, 2 blocks into the wall here, little gap between them. And have the blue bricks near, and place your feet up on the blocks and sit. Bring the buttocks really close in. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath, lengthen the back of the neck. Now take 1 brick, have it this way round. Place it under the sacrum, with the idea of the sacrum moving towards the feet, just as it's done in the whole lesson. Tuck your shoulder blades right under the back. Chest is lifting, but sacrum is moving towards the feet. Soften the abdomen. Let go of the weight of your sacrum. Now, if that's comfortable, turn the brick onto the next highest side and just have the sacrum on the brick and move it. Tuck it in, move it down. Keep the shoulder blades tucking under, the lift in the side chest. Now, if you can't come up to the next level, you could put a block under the brick. But our feet are raised to make this a little bit more accessible. So, you press on your feet and tuck your tailbone in, lift your pelvis and put the brick facing long ways here under the sacrum. Keep the shoulder blades tucking under, keep the knees in, keep Keep the toes and feet straight, don't let them move out. Lift the side chest, soften the throat. Explore the opening in the abdomen, in the chest. Now, for some people, you can use another brick as well to go under the first brick. So I'm going to bring my feet back a little to achieve this. And when I lift the sacrum, I'm coming up onto my toes. Then I can put the other brick under the first brick, tuck the shoulders in a little bit more, and then release the sacrum onto the brick. Keep the knees in, lifting up through the chest. Softening your face. This is a supported pose. So allow the supports to open the body for you. All right, and then remove the bricks. You may well want to just keep the sacrum on the ground and draw the knees towards you for a moment. And then roll to one side, and we'll get ready for Shavasana. So by all means, if there's any pinching in the back, you can use your bolster or your bricks to go under your knees. You can use a blanket or a brick to support your head. Make sure you're going to be warm enough. Start centrally placed. Make sure you've got the right distance. If you're using a head support, bring it to the shoulders. Use your elbows to lift up and draw your shoulder blades down. You can lift your feet up and extend your feet out away from the centre by taking your heels out, turning your feet out. Take your arms out, but before you do that, you may well want to just extend your neck, shoulders under, arms out. Oh, remove glasses. Close your eyes. And allow the floor to completely support you. Make any final adjustments and try then to maintain stillness. Remember that stillness in the body becomes stillness in the mind. Space that we've made in the body helps to create space between thoughts, more space in the mind. So that here, as we lay our whole body down onto the ground, with trust, releasing any final remnants of holding on to our physical self. And let your out breath help you to do this. And remember that yoga is a journey inwards into being fully. So we also lay down the past, the future, our ego, our identity, our personality, our memories. Leave them be. Find space between the thoughts. And let that integral connection we have with prana, with consciousness, with the universe surface. And feel that you can celebrate with that slight smile, fully being in this moment. In your breathing body. I'm going to leave you here. When you're ready to return, just roll onto your right side until you're ready to come up. Namaste.